think today is going to be probably a a massive value add session, because I want to really go through some hands-on tutorial, to teach you guys, on how to maneuver, your JDXBOT, and also, right, the JDXCopyMaster, especially the CopyMaster, because I believe there are quite a number of people who are trying to figure out how to use the apps, and the different things, right? So I think this will be a fantastic session to learn, right? So just make sure if you have your team, get them on board. I think these are the session that we want to make sure our team actually learn, right? Because or else, right, if they don't learn, then when they go through problem, they start to firefighting, right? And then they waste a lot of time, and then they try to blame others or blame BitGert or whatever. So, right, so we don't want that to happen. So that's why this kind of AMA sessions are very, very important. Okay, and also it is actually also a right timing, right? To use this session to ask any questions that is related to your bot. I think that will be really awesome. Sometimes we worry, or sometimes we feel ashamed. We think that probably our question is useless, or it is there is no value to it. But you never know that sometimes there are many people may also want to ask the same question that you have, but they don't have the courage to do so. All right. So, and because of that, right? Because of that, right, they didn't ask the question, right? So, if any one of you have a question, although yes, the question can be insignificant, but you never know. Sometimes that question can open up new avenues, right? So, and also, right, you can't access my mind, or you can't access my skill if you don't ask the right question. All right. So sometimes you can have a great mentor, but your mentor will not be able to give you everything unless you actually ask the right question. So the more you ask the question, actually the more you draw from your leader or from your mentor, right? So it's all depend on the question that you ask. That's why AMA session, Ask Me Anything session, I think it's a very critical session. Please understand, right? At my level, or at my stature, right, of what I'm doing now, I don't actually have to do this, right? I don't have to do 2 meetings, every week, right, for the community. The fact that I'm doing this is that because we want to empower ordinary people, and educate them. I think education is critical. As I always mention, right? The more you learn, the more you earn. Okay, so it's a very simple, but yet not everyone is able to do. So for example, right, just take an example. If you are not in the crypto space, what would you been doing today? All right, if somebody did not come and actually introduce you to the crypto space, or you did not read about crypto space from somewhere, and what would have happened to you now? You might have lost this opportunity to learn about this new trend, right? About this new industry. So can you see that? So once you are in that industry, the more you learn, actually, the more knowledge you have, the more understanding you have, the better you become, in that area, right? So that is how you actually become better. And the more you become better, actually you become skillful, right? So at one point in your life, once you are really skillful, you can actually monetize your skill. Now this is the secret of how to monetize your skill. All right, you have to master it. Okay, you have to master it. So once you master it, you can actually monetize your skill, because people may want what you have. So when people want what you have, and you are able to solve their problem, now you can monetize your skill, and you can actually teach people. You never know how many people in your community actually wants to learn about Bitcoin, or let's say they want to learn about DCA, or let's say they want to learn about trading. You don't know how many people want to learn until you make an offer. Can you see that? So when you make an offer, suddenly people who say that they don't have the money, they are willing to pay for it. Can you understand me? Even in this group, right, you can see there are people who initially thought they don't have the money. It's a bit difficult to afford, but they are still able to do it. Why? because you see that the universe will only bless you if you have the desire for it, right? So if you don't have the desire for it, the universe don't know. So that's why sometimes it's important for you to declare or proclaim whatever that you believe, right? So when you proclaim and you declare what you believe, you are making known, okay, that this is what is going to happen to you. And you never know that the things that you spoke 2 or 3 years ago, or even 10 years ago, and even the things that you have written down about 10, 20 years ago is suddenly happening. Can you see that? So this is the power to manifest, okay, whatever that God has actually put in your life, okay? But what I'm trying to say is that master it. So mastering the area that you are really interested or you are really passionate is critical. Remember, that's why I always tell people, right? Passion, 3P, right? Passion, patience, practice. This is the problem. So many people start, they have great passion, they really want to do something, but the problem is that when they start to practice, all right, when they start to, when they have the passion, but they don't have the patience, that's the problem. So halfway along, right, they don't have the patience. So step 2, they are defeated because they don't have the patience for it. But if you have the passion, you have the patience, and you are willing to practice and practice and practice, even though you fail, even though you drop down, even though you collapse, it doesn't matter, right? You keep rising up and you keep correcting the error and try not to make the same error again and again. So what happened? You become better and better, right? You become better and better. Now you have mastered that area. Sometimes it may take you 6 months, sometimes it may take you a year. It doesn't matter, right? But at one point, you are already starting to master that area, right? So when you master that area, you are good at it. That is it. It's like the BitGet app, right? One day you might master everything, all the features there, and you know exactly in and out how BitGet app actually works. But to do that, you have to keep practicing, right? You have to hands-on. So that is, I think, the key if you really want to become successful. Now, once you are hands-on, you can provide tutorial. You are now becoming more and more skillful. Now you need to rise to the next step and believe yourself by monetizing your skill. So this is where you provide your skill, to the community and to the people who value it. Are you guys okay? Are you guys learning? All right. Now, this is how you rise from where you are, or else you will stay with what you were taught in the school, and you think that that is what you are created for, without realizing you have other skills that God has actually, embedded into your life, and you start to discover now. Can you understand me? I am an engineering. I studied electrical and electronic engineering. I am a process engineer by nature. Okay, I'm a process engineer, but I am not doing a process engineer. It was only what I studied, and I was and I was driving. My desire is to become a lawyer. I don't want to become an engineer, but because of the financial situation of my family and so on, I have to take another route, to become a process engineer in the electrical or electronic. That's why I started as an engineer. So I work in an audio in a video and audio company, one of the biggest company. All right, I worked there for about 8 years under the Japanese system, and I master the system which most of you probably heard, right? Kaizen, right? Continuous improvement. So then I started my own consultancy firm, and I went to different companies to turn around their businesses. So I studied the cycle time, I turn around. So that's how what I do is basically I master things and then I monetize it. And then when I came into the crypto space, it's the same thing I did. I took years to master the crypto space. I took years to master my trading skills, becoming better and better. I lost a lot of money. It doesn't matter, because that is the price you pay to master something. But if you start to lose money, and then you become impatient, and then now you lose your passion, then you give up. You see that? Then you get up. So that's why you can see so many people, right? So many people, if you just study their background or their history, they have been going through the cycle of giving up again and again. Am I right? They have been going through this cycle. And then they jump from one to another, even before they actually master it. What a waste. What a waste. They wasted their money, they wasted their time, they wasted their efforts, they wasted their family. Sometimes even the wife got mad with them. All right. But this is the scenario, right? Because they cannot stick to it until they get it done. All right. So if you ask me, right, the key to success is only basically if you are consistent. All right. So although sometimes you have the skills, you have the knowledge, but if you are not consistent, okay, you can still fail. All right. So the consistency is key, right? The tenacity is the key. So a consistent person, it actually become more successful than a person who can even actually have the skill. Sometimes skillful people are not really consistent either, right? Because these are all the characters and the attitude of that person, okay? But I hope you understand what I'm trying to say. Okay, so this is actually the reason why I believe that the route our children is taking, going to school, getting a degree, getting a master's, and so on, high likely, right? This education. I'm always for education, but I don't encourage my children. You must get all A's and you must do better in your life in your education. I want my kids to be educated, okay? But beyond an education, right? You have to find out the will of God, what God wants you to do. What is the skill that you have? Because although you have all the knowledge, although you have all the education, you can still you can have a master's, you can have a degree, you can have PhD, you can have doctorate, but you can still be poor. Honestly, okay? Is this right? You can still be poor. We have so many educated poor person. Can you see that? So there's nothing to do with your studies. You can have everything. And we have people who never go to school, and yet they are more wealthy than those who actually went to school. Can you see that? We have educated people who are poor, but we have uneducated people who might be he only have a basic education, how to read, how to write, but he knows what to do with the skills and the character, to become successful in life, right? So you can see that. So it's not about education. Don't think that, because you got a degree and because of that, you will be successful in life. Probably you will have the most miserable life compared to the person who don't even have the education. You see that? So this is something important. But if you don't find the will of God, what God wants you to do, that's why, you start something, right? You start something. I start something. All right. I grew in a family that is poor. I start something. I had a desire to be a lawyer, but then I have to change my desire because of the financial of my family. So I have to go into an engineering line. That's why I learned, to become a process engineer. But along the way, I discover that the will of God, I discover the skill that I'm really good at. So when you are good at certain skill, you can actually explore and open up many different areas and aspects in your life. Can you understand me? So that's why don't stick to one thing forever. Okay, keep changing. It's fine. No problem. Keep changing. Keep finding new things, new way how to do things. Nothing is wrong as long as you have mastered it. So if you get into something, master it, become really good at it, and try to see if you can monetize the skill that you are good at it. And then go and master another thing and then do the same thing. So if you can keep doing the same thing, now you have mastered so many different things. Probably you have your own company because you are now skillful in that area. And you can probably even have 2 or 3 companies that is running at the same time, right? Because you have mastered it. Can you see that? So some of us, we might have studied electrical, but we are not really knowledgeable about it, but we are very, very practical about it. We know how to do electrical for houses. We can go and, do wirings and so on. You are really good with it. So you open a business, right? Under your name, ding dong, wiring services, right? Example, right? And you become so good. And this guy who studied an engineering coming out, still struggling to find a job, and you are already doing wiring work for so many of your community, and you have already made so much money. Am I right? Can you see that? So this is the reality, guys. So don't think that, you need to have the highest education to become successful in this world. honestly, to tell you, the higher your education, probably the more difficult for you to get a job. Because education prepares you for job. Education does not prepare you for life. Okay, so please understand this very carefully. Okay, so that's the reason why when you are young, you think you want to study, you want to educate yourself. But when you grow older, you realize everything that you study is rubbish. You see that? Because it doesn't apply to what you are doing, because now you have found the skills and the resources and God's will for your life, right? So this is important. Okay, so this is what I want the team to do. This is the reason why, as I mentioned, right, why are we doing the AMA session? Because I want to make sure that our team is educated. We want to empower you, okay, in this area so that you can really become good. Can you see that? So, and one day, right, we never know, probably 3 years from now, 5 years from now, some of you probably will be running seminars in your countries. You may be providing, educations. You may providing, seminars to your community. They may come to your seminars, 20 people, 30 people paying for your services. Can you just imagine that? All right. And if that day arrives, don't forget, call me there. Okay. I will come as a guest speaker. You see that? So you don't know how valuable you are and what you are learning, my friend. You just have no idea. And some of you probably, you can tap on my resources, right? You can say, all right, we have this knowledge base, hands-on. Probably you say, okay, I'm going to arrange 50 people how to do trading. So we're going to do a hands-on trading and teach them, right? So you organize it and you say, okay, we're going to have a master trader, right? Master traders, coming over to our country. So you arrange everything and so on. So you become the middleman. And then can you just imagine that? You make sure you pay me, you make sure and everything. And then at the end of it, you took all the profits. Come on. Can you see? This is the problem, because we think that, oh, no, we cannot let other people to do. We must do it ourselves. It will take you years to do. Can you see that? So these are areas that you need to be really smart, right? Really, you need to be really smart. And what is the connection? What is this connection for, after all, right? What is this? Why we get to know each other's, right? Why we partner in life and so on, right? So there must be a reason. Can you see that? So you must be able to take advantage of it. Sometimes you say, all right, I cannot do this, physically, right? Might be difficult. All right, great. Let's do it online. Maybe you say, okay, I'm going to arrange 10 people and we're going to, we want to do probably a online seminar about dollar cost averaging. So, okay, great. Let's do that. Can you find, okay, you go and organize everything. Can you find how many people? And then, all right, let's do that online. So more people from your community can come online and join. Can you see that? So these are ways, right? There's so many ways to do it. So don't take this relationship for granted, guys. You can plan a lot of things. You can take because of the trust, because of the partnership, because you know what we are doing and so on, right? So this is just an intro to those of you who are already. I hope you are blessed. If you are blessed, put up there in the chat. That would be really, really good. Put up there in the chat. Great to have each and every one of you on board. So what I'm trying to say, guys, is simple, okay? Master it until you become really good at it, okay? Before you keep jumping and learning many other things, okay? So keep mastering it. Become better and better in it, because once you master it, you are really good. You must move to the next level to monetize it, because now you have a value that people are looking for it. All right. So this is the most important. That's why a lot of people are failing in life, because they don't know how to, they master it, but they don't know how to monetize it, right? So that's the problem. Can you see that? And then they go and spend money and learning about, marketing, sales, how to do, high value, offerings and so on. All those things are bullshit, guys. Don't waste your time. Don't ever waste your time on that. All right. So that's why today's startup, right? I always tell the startup, because this is what I learned. If you are startup and you have a great dream, definitely you cannot sleep in the night, because you are thinking that you're going to invent something, innovate something, and then you want to actually open up a business. And in your mind, you are seeing thousands of people actually, yes, it's true. That is a dream. It's not a reality. Can you see that? So don't go and start a business immediately. What you can do, is leverage the online, leverage the networking. So you have to start a YouTube channel. You have to start to open up your, your social medias, and use the social media first to gather the community, increase your reach, let people know what you are offering, and let them actually subscribe to your services and so on, because you need the market. If you don't have the market, even you have the best product, you will still fail. So if you already have the market, you already have the people, you already connected to 20 countries, 30 countries, and you already have, let's say, a YouTube channel of 10,000 subscribers and so on, now is the time for you to offer your product. You see that? That's why young people who are coming out and starting their businesses are failing, because they have not created the market. So this is the problem. Can you see that even they can study businesses in Oxford, they still fail because they don't have the market. So creating the market is the most difficult thing. All right, to have a product is okay. You can dream to have a product. So what? Who do you think want to buy your product if you don't have the market? You see that? So that's what I did. So that's why I built my social media. That's why I built my YouTube channel. So today I have a reach probably about 35 countries. And because of that, I can keep providing product services, right? Offer new product, offer new services, because you already created the market. All right. So I don't want to go into that. Okay. But these are all the free stuff you are learning, right? Come on. People are wasting money learning this kind of things, right? And here you are learning everything for free. Take it, okay? Take it. That's why I say, don't take things for granted. You do not know. There are so much of resources, that you can tap on. Sometimes some of this simple explanation, some of this simple advice I'm giving can change your life, all right? Can change your life. So that's why use this opportunity, okay? So if you are blessed, just put up there in the chat room. Are you guys ready? I think we want to get going, okay? Are you guys ready? If you are ready, put up there in the chat room. Ready? All right, put that ready, and then let's get going. And then later on, I will take your questions and so on, okay? If there is, okay? Yeah, put up that ready in the chat room. Let's get going. Okay, great. Awesome. Fantastic. Okay, guys, let's get started. Okay, let's get started. You know that AMA session is always the alternate, the first week and the third week of the month. Okay, so take note. And today, I think it's going to be exciting because I want to probably do quite a number of hands-on tutorial, hands-on live tutorials, so that you can actually, have this recorded video, and you can go through this video again and again, right? So, but first thing first is that I want to quickly give you the market outlook about what is really happening with the crypto space. And then we're going to go through a JDXBOT and also JDXCopyMaster, right? Now, I think high likely, right? I think probably a lot of the users, a lot of our partners who already have position open, right? You are not so sure about my expectation. What am I really going to do when I'm going to close the position? So I'm going to basically explain to you what is my expectation or some of my target level the market must reach in order for me to close the position and what I'm going to do. And okay, so I'm going to explain that so that at least you have an idea. Oh, okay, this is where we are going, and then you can then, you can then be patient and then wait until, because when come to market, right, you can't force the market, all right? You can't force the market. So you have to wait for the market to come to you, okay? Or you go after the market. But if you want to go after the market, you need to have more, more capitals. If you don't have more capitals, you can't go after the market. You have to wait for the market to come to you, right? So, and then I'm going to just quickly probably show how to monitor your sub account. I think this is the key, right? See, you have the sub account, you have the main account. So if your sub account is depleted and you already actually handle, replenish your sub account, you do not need to worry about your main account. You see that? But if you don't have the fund, then your sub account depleted, then you have to rely on your main account. If your main account then reaches 50%, you do nothing, then you start to firefighting. Can you see that? So the system is already there. the bot is working according to the system, but then it still comes back to the human, right? So this is something that we're going to just show you how you can monitor your sub account using your app. Okay, so you don't have to go and log in into your browser and so on. So you can use your app. You can actually just check your sub account status. And then I'm going to also talk about the auto top up features, right? I think this is going to be important moving forward. So that's the reason why no one can join JDXCopyMaster at this moment. The link is actually revoked. So that means that I don't want anyone to join. So we're going to actually basically come up with the new rules, okay, to join JDXCopyMaster and so on, because I think the problem is that some people think it's only $50. So they come in and then their $50 depleted and then they get liquidated, right? Because there are other factors about the copy trading that is affecting their available balance and so on. And also the money management, right? The wallet management is critical. So that's the reason why we will not actually accept any new enrollment yet until I get this rule clear. And then once we have the clear rule, then only we will invite the rest of the people who are interested to join to come in, but they have to follow the rule, okay? And also how to enable BitGet notification. I think this is something that I have already put in the group earlier today, but I think I'm going to go through that once again just to make sure everything is recorded here. Okay, so we're going to do some hands-on together. Okay, all right. Now let's quickly get into the market first, right? So that's what we want to do. Get into the market. Let's take a look at the cryptos market itself. Okay. Okay, great. Okay, all right. Now, first thing first, okay, let's just quickly look into the weekly, okay, the weekly. So here we actually have a weekly, and I did mention to you, right, that you can see that we are basically monitoring this historical trend from December high, April high, November high, you know, all the way. So if you look, Bitcoin has been basically respecting this historical trend, you know, all the way. But okay, but this week, right, you saw that we actually, can you see that? This is the historical line. We actually exceeded that historical line. Okay, please understand, okay, this is a weekly candle. And then this week, look at this week, we have a red candle. And this is slightly like a topping, you know, like a topping candle, okay? So now this is a red candle, but this week has not ended yet. All right, so that means that the coming Monday, right, we will have a new candle. And if the coming Monday, right, coming Monday, or even this week, if price move downward and it goes back again, okay, into the, you see this level, right, 114, right, 114, 115. If it move back into this level, then we will wait for the next week candle. And if the next week candle below the historical trend, that means Bitcoin is still respecting that historical trend. And that is quite a big danger, right? Because that actually probably strengthening that we have already topped and we might actually be going down. Okay. And also if you look into the money flow, right, we are already starting to make a curve, okay, to go down. All right. So there is a correlation here, right, between the price action and the money flow. Okay, money flow is very, very critical. Okay, so that's the first thing I want you to understand. So yes, people are saying that we have not hit the all-time high. I think if you ask me, right, I might agree with that. We have yet to see the all-time high for Bitcoin yet, because we still have time, right, until October or November. We still have time. So I am expecting basically for some kind of correction to take place. So if we go into the daily time frame, can you see that we have a topping, okay, candle? So this is this candle, right? This is a very, very important candle for you to understand, especially on the daily. So you see that the buyers push the price up, the sellers push the price down all the way. So now there is a rule, okay, when we talk about the topping, you know, candle, right? There is a rule whereby you can see this body size is basically like 25% of the whole candle, and it is now at the bottom. That's why you saw the next day candle is a red candle, because this is basically showing that the sellers are starting to sell. So that means that I believe the whales or the institution are taking profit at around 123,000. You see that? So that's why now we are moving sideways. Okay, we are moving sideways. That's the reason why I'm asking you to monitor. Okay, but if you look, right, there are a few things, right? If I go to the CME gap, we have a gap. Okay, if we have a gap around, let me just, can you see? We have a gap around 117,000. We have a gap here. Can you see that? That's a gap. Most people probably are not able to see the gap, but we have a gap here at 117,000. Now, can you see price is going down? Money flow is also going down. And then we also have another gap at 114. This is quite a huge gap, 114. So that means, right, that it's high likely that this gap will be filled very soon. Right, this gap will be filled. So let me just get back here. Okay, so you can see we have the 117, which is coming close now, and then we have the 114. So that means that if Bitcoin moves back into 114, it will then respect again the historical trend. Okay, historical all-time high trend, right? So could 123 be the all-time? I'm not so sure. I can't say that. Okay, I can't say that. But what I'm expecting is this. Okay, I'm expecting for Bitcoin to at least retest the 109, 107, 109 level. Because this is, if you look at this level, right, this is a level that Bitcoin has to respect. If 109 is broken and it goes down, then it will be catastrophic for Bitcoin. Okay, that means that we're going to see a massive, massive sell-off if this trend is broken, because this is a strong support. Can you see that? It goes all the way here. So there's a strong support. So you can see Bitcoin goes up, then there's a support, it goes down, there's a resistance. So it moving within the support and the resistance. So 109, okay, 107, 109 is a critical level that I'm watching. So if Bitcoin can come down to this level, that will be determining factor, right? If the price will go up. I think if the price goes up, it will then high likely bounce back and come down. All right, so this level is an important level to watch, okay? Now the other thing is that if you are in JDXBOT, okay, please understand that I think even if you are in JDXCopyMaster, right, you can see that I think some positions, if you look at JDXBOT, we open the position around here, which is 103. On an average, okay, 103. And if you look at some of your position, if any one of you who are in JDXBOT, maybe you can put your entry price, okay, in the chat room. Put your entry price, because we have done the DCA, right? So the DCA currently, right, I can see a lot of the position probably at around 110, 111, 112, because the DCA has actually moved the price, entry price of your short, okay, of your short entry price from 103 all the way to around 110 or 1111. Okay, that is awesome, right? So that means that the DCA is working well, all right? DCA is working well. So that means that while we manipulate the entry price and bring it to 109, okay, this is where we saw the breakout. And if the price comes down now and go back to 109 or below, then we can already start to close those positions. All right. So if any one of you in the JDXBOT and you have your bot, look into your entry price for USDT, USDC, and BTC. Probably you can just put in the chat room just to confirm, okay, where is your entry price now, okay? But this is a very important explanation so that you understand what is my expectation next and why I'm waiting for Bitcoin to come back to visit the 109 level, okay? So this is important. Now, in the event, right, in the event if 109 is broken, can we go even further down? Absolutely. Okay, I think the critical level, high likely, okay, high likely, because we do have another CME gap at 92,000. Okay, now let me bring it even further, and then we have another CME gap here at 74,000. So I am just basically hypothesize. Okay, this is the hypothesis, is that we could probably go all the way to around this level, about 74, 75. okay, level, and then only another bull run will start, and that bull run will bring Bitcoin to around 135,000 top. Okay, that's basically just what I'm saying, right? So I'm not saying it will happen, but it's just basically what I am hypothesized, okay, educated guesses, okay, the way I look into it, okay. So please also understand, right? If you look into the level here, right, we have this line. Can you see that? This line all the way. So means when Bitcoin comes down, right, probably 109, this line will be there. So if Bitcoin respect this line, it will then bounce back. If it does not respect this line, then we will see this line probably broken. Once this line broken, it will probably go and retest, bounce back, and this is where it will then come down all the way here. Can you see that? So this is a very, very important line, okay? Important trend line for Bitcoin for you to watch, okay? So that's the reason why we have some of these important resistance, some of these important channels, okay, that we expect. And also, right, although yes, I understand the technical aspects of chartings and so on, but I don't want to dwell too much, okay, in the technical things, okay. But what I want to show you also, right, I think this is a danger that probably a lot of the those who are doing the technical analysis, they are also watching, right? So if you look into the, I think it is the weekly, right? Yeah. If you look, is it, yeah, okay, 4 hours, right? So if you look into the 4 hours, right, now you might hear some already are looking into the head and shoulder. So you got the shoulder, the head, and the shoulder here. Can you see that? So when you see the head and the shoulder, that means that the next move is also coming down. Okay, so but I don't want to go into that technicality, but I just want you to know that yes, we know about it. We don't want to focus too much into that because we are more tactical, okay? But I just want to give you an idea, okay? Idea what we are looking at here, all right? Because some people thinking that I don't know technical, so I don't want to touch the technical. But yes, we are aware of it, okay? But I think Bitcoin doesn't care whether you know technical or you don't know technical, right? Because if Bitcoin goes down, it goes down, that's all. So I think probably later tonight or tomorrow within the next 24, 48 hours, I think the first CME gap probably broken, and then we could probably see 114. Okay, but anyhow, once the stock market open around 9:30, right, we will know what happened because there is always manipulation going on. Okay, now if you look at this price over here, right, if you look at this price, if you look at the price movement somewhere here, right, so somewhere here, can you see this price movement? Why the price actually went up? Because of the NVIDIA report. NVIDIA, I think, has already become one of their market cap is about 4 over billion, right? So remember, NVIDIA, these are all tech stocks. So if the tech stock goes up, Bitcoin goes up. If the tech stocks comes down, then Bitcoin comes down. So Bitcoin is highly correlated with the stock market. Okay, so this is very, very important, okay, for you to understand what is going on. So the reason why I'm dwelling on this a little bit, because this will explain to you my expectation where I'm actually thinking the price to come down. Let me just see. No, not JDXBOT. Oh, sorry, 116. Okay, all right. I think some of you, yes, 116. Mine is around 115. I think there are others who probably at around 111, 112, 110, which is good. All right, because the more it goes up means that the JDXBOT strategy is working. All right, JDXBOT is working flawlessly. It's bringing your price up. Okay, so that is what we really wanted. Okay, but in doing that, I think we also have a problem with the position ratio, which we are going to deal with it. So if you see that it comes down and 35% it doesn't close in profit, don't worry about it, okay? Because our technical team now is working on how to adjust the position ratio so that once we have the position ratio in place, then we can close the position in profit. Okay, so just understand that. Okay, so I hope, all right, I hope this macro aspects of this understanding gives you some clarity. Okay, what we are looking at now. Also, right, just quickly, right, see, whenever the price goes up, okay, whenever the price goes up, people will always say the all-time season has started. Okay, because Because the thing is that a price goes up, okay? When price goes up, then the Bitcoin dominance is coming down. You see that? So when the price of Bitcoin going up and the dominance is coming down, then it is like a signal. I think what we are seeing now is like a mini altcoin season. We are not really seeing the full flash of the altcoin season yet. But what you are seeing now, right? You can see Ether price is now going up. Can you see that? So while Bitcoin price is coming down, Ether price is going up. So that means there is a rotation of money from Bitcoin into Ethereum. But please understand, Ether is the mother of all altcoins. Okay, Bitcoin is the mother of all coins, but Ethereum is the mother of all coins, alternative coins, right? All the shit coins and so on, right? So Ethereum is the mother. So if the Ethereum goes up, then only the money will rotate from Ethereum into the meme coins and other coins. Okay, but anyhow, be very careful because money flow already top. Okay, money flow already top. So that's the reason why I believe high likely this is like a mini foretaste of the alt season, but we are probably not yet because we might be seeing Bitcoin price coming down, and then the dominance might actually rebounds back. All right, so this is something important to understand. And also, right, another reason I think Bitcoin price is bound to come down is the DXY. So DXY, as I mentioned to you, we are already starting to see DXY moving upward. So on the weekly, I think we already have a strong candle. Can you see that? So if DXY move up, dollar currency index, then we could start to see Bitcoin price actually coming down, right? The opposite of it, okay? But also please understand, I think we have two catalysts that can pump the price back, right? One is the House bill, right? I think the US House bill on the crypto and so on. And the other one is this coming, I think we have a Fed Chat Powell, right? The FOMC meeting. So we got a speech from the Fed. So if they cut the rate, then Bitcoin might go up. Okay. And another catalyst, I believe, because Trump is unhappy with Fed Chairman Jerome Powell. So he might want to, he is actually still talking about, discharging Jerome Powell, right? So he wants to terminate Jerome Powell contract. Now, please understand, okay? One thing that I want you guys to understand is this. You see, the president has no power to actually terminate Jerome Powell. It's very difficult because Federal Reserve must run on a independent entity. They cannot be manipulated by politics. Okay, please understand that. So now, if the president has the power to terminate, okay, or push Jerome Powell to resign, the confidence in the dollar will be affected. So now people ask me, is it Bitcoin price went up because of Bitcoin price strength or because of something else? Actually, the reason why Bitcoin went up, not because of Bitcoin, because of the weakness in the dollar currency. So when DXY went down, Bitcoin automatically goes up. So it is the DXY actually that loses or become weaker because of the non-confidence of the investors of the institution to buy US dollars. You see that? So what they do when they see that the president can have influence over Jerome Powell, the Federal Reserve Chairman, and they can make a decision. They are worried now what is going to happen to the future of the US, right? The future of US dollar. So when they lose confidence, what do? They will ditch US dollar. They will sell US dollar and they will try to buy back other other assets. So that's why the money starts to flow into Bitcoin, into gold, into silver, and so on. Can you see that? So this is the reason why. I hope you understand that. So sometimes it's not because of Bitcoin. It is because of dollar currency index that actually causing the Bitcoin price to go up. So now, if the dollar currency index starts to find strength again and starts to go up, then you will start to see the opposite of the Bitcoin and also gold. Okay, these assets are considered as a safe haven asset, but Bitcoin is a risk-on asset. So whenever there is a risk, people will actually move their fund, okay, and so on. Okay, so So these are some of the reasons why. I hope this is clear. Okay, I hope I'm helping you guys. Are you guys learning? All right. So this is why it's good to come to AMA session, because not you can't hear a lot of this stuff outside that. People are only interested and talking about bull market because the price goes up. Who tell you just because price goes up, we are in the bull market? Not necessary. We could probably are seeing a fake of the fake bull, because you see the institution, you see the more media start to talk about Bitcoin price is going up, that is the time you have to start to exit. Why are they doing that? That is like the final euphoria level, where they want everybody to come in, push the price so that the institution can actually exit. You see that? And then you guys are stuck there because you bought last minute. All right, don't be fooled, okay, by some of these institutions. But nevertheless, remember, my target is only 135, okay? But the next cycle, right, we could even see Bitcoin go to 240, 250,000 and so on. But for Bitcoin to straight away go to 250,000, it will defeat the whole purpose of it. Doesn't make sense at all, okay? So this is first thing first, okay? Just to give you a macro understanding about the crypto space, and also I think I relate with the JDXBOT, okay, and also the JDX CopyMaster. You can see we open at around 109, 110, expecting the price to go down, but unfortunately, right, because of the NVIDIA and because of some of these factors, sometimes the price may not respect the direction that you are thinking the market going up. But nevertheless, even if the market doesn't go in your direction, you must have proper risk management in place. That's why we have our wallet management, we have the DCA. So that's why you see how we move the price from 109 all the way, right? 103 all the way to 110, 111. That is fantastic. But now it's only a matter of time. If the price can come down, then we can close the position, right? So can you understand me? So that is basically my expectation. So what is my expectation, or what I want to do is basically, if the price comes down, then I think the most important position to close probably Bitcoin, right? So we close Bitcoin. Now, when you close a position, you don't close everything first. You close a position. So once you close, what happened? Your available balance will increase, because now your position size and also the profit will return back to your available balance. So your available balance will increase. Now, when your available balance increase, next you deal with the next asset. So you do gradually. So you don't go and shoot all the enemies at once in the battlefield. If you are a sniper, you shoot one first. You finish shooting one, then you target the next one. See, so this is important. Okay, that's why, patience and strategy is important when come to trading, because it's the same thing. Because if you want to shoot everyone, then you won't have enough bullets. Some of you, your available balance are zero. You see that? So if you don't have an available balance, then how? Even if I add order, it will never happen for your bot, because you don't have fun. You see, that's why we are telling you, make sure you have fun in your available balance. Okay, but in the next round, once I close everything, I may do it differently. Okay, so because I don't want people to be affected in their available balance. I think I know what is the problem with the copy trading system that is offered by BitGet. I think I know what's the problem. So we're going to solve that in the next round. Okay, not now. Now you have to make sure you have the fund available. Okay, okay, great. I hope, all right. I hope you guys are clear now about the market. I think if you are in the crypto, then you need to understand the crypto. All right. You don't need to understand all the shit coins, guys. Just focus on Bitcoin and Ethereum. Simple as that. Don't focus on all the rest of the thing. Focus on Bitcoin, Ethereum, and the stable coin. It can be USDT, or USDC. Good enough. Okay. The rest of the coin, just forget about it. Okay. Don't put your hard-earned money into those shit coins, and then those shit coins suddenly crash, and then you are crying because you have put your money. It is called the shit coin. That's why your life will be shit. Can you understand me? So don't put your money into those shit coin, okay? Just focus on fundamental coin. That's why if you see, right, why we don't get liquidated, because for the CopyMaster, right, I only focus on 4 coins. That 4 coin is basically, we call this, they have the tokenomics, okay? And this coins has value. So you got Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, and also Sui. These 4 coins are basically high tokenomics coins. So they don't fluctuate like the shit coins. Okay, they don't crash. They can't, because these coins are basically there are token economics to this coin, that are value to this coin. So you don't see this coin crash. So that's why we can still stay in the market, no problem. Okay, but in the next round, we might not focus on all these coins, right? We might only focus on Bitcoin and Ethereum, because the lesser coin you have, the better it is, and you might have more available balances. Okay, all right, great. Now, anyone have any questions on this market outlook before I proceed to the next session? Anyone? Any questions? You can raise your hand. There's a icon over there. All right, just a question. Okay, don't give me any compliment yet, but I just want to hear if you have any questions, anything that you want to clarify about the market. So now, just to make sure I conclude this clear, right? On the high side, okay, let me just show you something first before we proceed. Now, what is the potential of us going above 1, 2, 3? Okay, what is the how does these things can happen? Okay, now please understand, right? You see that this candle, let me make it bigger for you. Okay, this candle, okay, topping tails. Okay, we call this is a topping tails, right? So that means the seller has already pushed the price down. The next day, you see the price is down, and now it is moving sideways. So this is considered for me as a bear flag. Okay, bear flag. Now, the longer it moves here means the more chances that it can actually come down. Okay, but now, in what condition that this will be revoked or invalidated and the price will actually move up? Now, these candles, right, has to go beyond 123,000. So any of these candles. So the next day candle failed. This candle on the 25th of July, on the 16th July failed. And on the 17th July, not yet, right? We have not closed yet. Currently, it is also already failed. So the next day, if the price push above 123, then there are more upside. Okay, as long it stays below 123, then we could be expecting more downside. Can you understand me? And the longer it actually move on the sideway, there are higher possibility and chances that it will come down. Okay, so just to give you some idea, okay, this is how you read. This is how you read the behavior. Okay, please understand. Trading is about understanding the behavior of the buyer and the seller. Okay, this is important. Okay, so I hope I'm giving you some insight, very important insight. Okay, great. So yes, for Lorenzo, please unmute yourself. Yes, unmute yourself. Yes, go.
Good afternoon, Doctor.
Hi. Good day to you.
Thank you very much. Always following you for like 4 years, and the last time I participated in your DCA class, and since that time,
awesome.
I've been DCA into Bitcoin and Ethereum, just as you advised me.
So you should be a millionaire by now.
Well. But I'm already significantly up. I'm in profit significantly. Wow. I just want to find out. You hinted now that you have Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, and Sui. Can we add Solana and Sui to the DCA portfolio now?
Yes,
based on your current advice?
Yes, you can. No problem. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Because those coins are good coins, because a lot of institutions, and also I think there are ETF coming, a lot of ETF for those coins already. So high likely Sui may even overtake Solana. Okay, but nevertheless, those are good coins that you can do this year, no problem. Okay, that's a great question, right? Okay, guys, you know that I don't want to give financial advices, but these are just insight. Okay, then you can decide what you want to do. Okay, because I won't tell you to buy what and so on. Okay, but these are insight. But just because somebody doing that, you don't have to do that. But if you ask me, do a DCA for Bitcoin and Ethereum. I think these two coins, it will not disappoint you. Okay, It will not disappoint you. Okay. The rest of the coin is gambling. Okay. If you want to gamble, you gamble. It's up to you. Okay. There's no promise those coins have solid tokenomics. Okay. Please understand that, because a lot of these coins, once it collapses, it will never go up again. Okay, it will never go up again. Okay, so if you put your money into this kind of coins, you are just wasting your life, right? So, and wasting your money, right? So just be very careful of that. Okay, so I'm very straightforward. Some people may not like. I think probably my YouTube channel have some negative comment later on, but who cares? All right, it is my YouTube channel, right? So if they are not happy, they are not happy. That is fine, right? I don't care about people's feeling, because I'm telling the truth. All right, I'm telling the truth. So just understand that. Okay, okay, great. Now let's move on. Okay, let's move on. Where's the slide? Okay, so the first thing is on the crypto side of it. I hope that is clear, right? That is clear. So you see, guys, whatever I'm sharing you, right? Sometimes this insight or this information can last for a few weeks. So if you go back again to the video and you listen back, right? And then you realize that, hey, yes, doctor did mention this few weeks back, right? Because I'm giving you a weekly, a daily, perspective and so on, right? So it's important for you to sometimes get this information. And imagine, right? This information may actually put you ahead of so many people, because you know things ahead of them. So you are more prepared. Okay, that is important. Now, so the next thing is that let's quickly go into JDXBOT. Right now, expectation is clear, right? Everybody is clear. Expectation, right? So if I go back to my bot, right? This is one of the bot, our R&D bot. So you can see, like this example, right? The short entry price is now around 115,000. All right, 115,000. So if the price comes down to 115,000, right? It's a good timing to close. But even that, we have to be concerned about your long, because at the moment, because of the partial profit and at order, the position ratio is now beyond 0.3. So now, when the position ratio is beyond 0.3, JDXBOT will not close your position at loss. So even if your ROE is above 35%, we cannot close your position. You see that? So this is a challenge, right? So what we want to do, high likely, right? Because we know that if the price comes down to 109, 110, we could see a massive bounce. So we might be closing the short, and then we might actually wait for the long, because the long is 120,000. Can you see that? 120,000. So we are working with a technical team, so we are monitoring on this. So you do not need to worry, okay? But you will start to see things change, okay, in your bot, okay? And also the other things you will start to see change is the leverage, right? 35, we will change it to 40, all right? We will change back to 40. So this is why we are working on 35, 40, because once we increase the leverage to 40 by another 5 points, your available balance will increase. Okay, your available balance will increase. So some of this amount, some of this margin will actually return back to your available balance. Okay, so in that way, right, you will have more available balance. And if your available balance increases, then your liquidation will be under control. So at the moment, you can see we are maintaining your liquidation above 20,000 points. So if you take your liquidation and deduct your mark price, you are always above 25. So if you go and top up your sub account, which I think is a great thing to do, because if you top up your sub account, you will see your liquidation will further get away much further. Okay, because if your available balance is below 50% and you top up your sub account, automatically it will send that amount into your main account. So when your main account is now have more fund, your estimate liquidation will be far away. Okay, so that is good. All right, that will be really, really great. Okay, but it's a bit difficult, right? Because every user will have a different condition, and so it's not easy. And also every user's entry price is different. Every user's position ratio is different. Some position ratio are okay. They are below 0.3. Some position ratio, no. Okay, so this is some of the challenges, but our technical team will be able to handle that, okay? Okay, so just take note of that. But sometimes when we do these measures, suddenly you see your available balance is reduced, right? So when your available balance is reduced, that's why it reminded you, please top up. Okay, please top up, because we can only do as much we can to protect your account. Okay, but if you don't top up, then we worry that if the price go above 123,000, it go 125 and 130,000, then you can get liquidated. All right. So please, okay, please just do the necessary at your side because we are doing our best. But please understand, from 103 to 125 is about 20,000 points, guys. And still we have not got liquidated. So that's how resilient the bot is. So means the strategy is working flawlessly. All right, it's working flawlessly. Yes, we have been floating about 20 or 20 over days, right? It is fine. I would rather stay in the market until I win rather than I keep taking losses and keep taking losses with a stop losses and losing more money. Can you see that? So these are probably a different way of thinking, right? I would rather stay in the battleground until I win the game and I actually exit, victoriously, right? So it's up to you. So if you don't have the patience and you think that, wow, it has been floating for some time, I don't have the patience for it, I need the money, right? My advice to you is that probably in the next round, once you already close all your position, better you take all your capital and walk away, because this might not be this might not be your forte, right? You because you want money every day. Might be this is not. Trading doesn't work in that way. Okay, so I hope that is clear. Okay, all right. So now, right, let's quickly, right? So if you look over here, right, you can, I just want to quickly help you to check your sub account. So how do you check your sub account? You tap the home, right? Tap the home, and then you see over here, right? You have your profile, right? So you tap your profile. Always remember, tap your profile. So once you tap your profile, now here, right, you see this is one of the bot, WealthMaker bot. So you tap the arrow here. Now, once you tap the arrow here, you see at the top here, right? Can you see the top here? At the top here, user center. At the top there, you will see the switch. For you to switch to your sub account. Now is my main account. So if I tap here, I will be able to see can you see I have my sub account. So you can choose your sub account, okay? Normally you only have one, okay? The other one is a mistake, so I'm not using it. So we only have one sub account. So let me tap my sub account. So now once I tap my sub account, it will bring me to my sub account, right? Then I go back again. So if I go back here, right, you can see it is 0. You see that? My asset value is 0. Or you can even go back to your asset at the bottom there. All right. And then you can go to your futures, right? You go to your futures and then you can check over here. USDT, see that? 0. My coin M, 0. My USDC, 0. You see that? So once your sub account is 0, you already know what to do, right? So what you do, you go back again, right? You go back again to your home and make sure you switch back, okay? Switch back to your main account. Switch back to your main account, all right? Okay, switch back to your main account before you actually go back again to your asset. And remember, okay, because when you want to fund your account, you must fund into your main account. All right, so you fund your account, you add your fund into the spot, right? You add your fund into the spot, and then you do the transfer. And then you transfer into your spot. Now, people always make mistake here. That's why sometimes the fund actually went somewhere else. You see, when you want to transfer, make sure you choose the main or the sub, right? Because now you want to transfer to your sub account. Then what you normally what I do, if I want to transfer BTC, then I click here for BTC. So you look for BTC, right? BTC is coin M. Then make sure you see main account, the spot, correct. Here, you need to go and choose coin M, right? You go and choose coin M. So you go to the account type, right? You go to the account type and you look for coin M. Okay, can you see that? So make sure, right? This is correct. So this is where people make mistake. And then they see why my fund is not in the sub account. Because you have selected the wrong one. So if you want to do USDC, then you go and look for USDC, right? USDC. So take but then check this. You see, this is wrong. So you go and look for account type. Go and look for USDC. You see that? So now you see spot USDC to sub account USDC. And the coin is USDC. So all is correct. You see that? So don't make a mistake, right? This is where sometimes when you make a blunder like this, and then you think you didn't check, right? And you think that, oh, I have done everything correctly, my fund will be there, and then suddenly you get liquidated. All right, so this is some of the problem that happens, right? So that's why it's always be good, right, to be cautioned, so that you can prevent some of these problems. Sometimes this problem is because of human negligence, right? That's all, not because of anything else. Okay, all right, okay, great. So I hope that gives you clarity about the JDXBOT. So now for the JDXBOT, you know my expectation, right? We are waiting. Actually, there are two things that let me just see. Okay, there are two things that I want to do. One, if the price goes up above 120,000, let's say the long position starts to have a positive ROI, we will be taking a partial profit, because once we take a partial profit, we will reduce the position size. Because if the long position size is reduced by half, your position ratio will return back to 0.3. So I think if that plays out, I'll be very happy. All right, then easy for us to manage, because we take a partial profit and then we wait for the price to come down to 109, 107. But some of you, I think earlier, okay, 115, 116, some of you is 112, 111. We can start to actually close all those positions. Okay, so that is the first scenario I'm looking at. If the price goes up above 120,000, but if that doesn't happen and the price comes down, then we will be waiting until 109. So high likely I will close the short position. Okay, close the short position, and then we will check all the estimate liquidation, making sure it's all within spec. Okay, and we know what to do. Okay, don't worry about it. We know what to do. But the thing is that it's all depend on where the price is going to move, because currently we are still staying within this 123 and 109 range. Okay, so just understand that. Okay, and the next thing is that how to check your sub account. So I hope that now you know how to check your sub account. See, please understand, right? Your sub account. Let me just go back to the slide for a while, right? So you guys know, right? One of our major control point is basically the wallet management, right? We have the sub account and the main account. Now your main account, once the DCA is done, it will replenish from your sub account. Okay, so if it keep replenishing, at one point your sub account will be depleted. So once your sub account depleted, it will start to use your main account. Now, once your main account reach the 50%, then you will be in a critical state. So now, to solve this problem, right? How to solve it, right? Why should you wait until the 50%? Why don't you monitor your spot account? Sorry, your sub account. So if you monitor your sub account already depleted, why don't you immediately go and top up? But if you have more fun, I told you, right? Don't do 50% minimum, right? So you can do maybe 100% more. Okay, but if you do 50%, then it's your responsibility to monitor your sub account. You see that? So this is a very important, I think, monitoring that you need to do. So you do not need to wait for the emails, right? Nothing. Because if you wait for the email and critical alert, probably it is too late. It is too late. And sometimes if the market are so violent, your main balance will get depleted very fast. You see, and then suddenly you are getting an email from Bitger saying that your account going to get liquidated, because market can be very volatile. Never underestimate the Bitcoin market. Okay, so now the other thing that we also decided after looking at this situation, we have another level that we will be actually adding on to the JDXBOT algorithm, whereby once you reach 20%, right? See, this is 50%. You got a critical alert email. You need to top up. But the thing is that some users, right, they are busy or they don't have time, they don't top up. So what we are going to do is that once you reach the 20%, we will stop the DCA. So that means we will no longer, the algo will not use your available balance, your main available balance to do the DCA. So in that manner, we are basically prolonging to protect your account from getting liquidated. Okay, so please understand that. Okay, so it looks like some users are not really monitoring their account. I don't know why, right? So this actually pushed us to put another measure in place. But please understand, when we put another measure, there are also disadvantages, because users' position may remain floating and delay in profit taking, right? That means that your entry price is not going to be pushed, is not going to be shifted because no DCA. You see that? So that's why if you make sure your account is sufficient, then you do not need to worry because we already managed to go up to 20,000. So just imagine, right? If the price go to 35,000, can we still sustain? It all depends on your available balance. Okay, that's all. So you can see, right? If we are successful managing 20 or 30,000, that means that we have one of the best bot in the market. All right, I think we have one of the best bot with all these measures in place. That means that the users' accounts are protected and safeguarded with a condition, okay, that they actually monitor their account balances, okay? But for JDXBOT at the moment, I think all accounts are intact, right? None of the accounts is liquidated, okay? So we thank God for it, okay? God's hand and protection is upon our community, right? We thank God for that. But it looks like we have no choice. We have to add another critical level control there, which is once your main account reaches 20%, we will not do the DCA anymore. Okay, because please understand, right? Initially, we want to continue to do the DCA because DCA is important, or else imagine, right? From 103, we are now at 1010, 110, 1111. That is because of the DCA. If the DCA you don't do it, then your entry price will be at 103. That will take you ages to close. All right, we have gone through that problem before, right? That's why we already resolved that problem. We don't have that problem anymore. Now we just have to have patience to wait for the market to come down. Okay, so I hope you are getting me, right? Any question on this? Any questions? I hope I'm explaining things clearly. Okay, especially if you are in JDXBOT, I hope you understand this very clearly. Okay, so those of you who are going to watch this video, I hope this is clear to you. Okay, please understand, guys, as I mentioned, right? When the price moved 20,000, billions were liquidated. But by God's grace, we are protected because of the strategy that we have in place. So you tell me, right? Do you want to get liquidated or you take a stop loss or you want to remain and then get out victoriously? It's up to you. Because for me, my way is that if I can hodl, I can win, right? If I can hodl, if I can hold, I can win, right? So, but require patience, okay? I hope that is clear. Okay, any question on this before I go to CopyMaster? Any questions? Yes, Obom, please unmute yourself. Yes, unmute yourself. Yes,
Doctor,
go ahead,
please,
my brother.
Okay, doctor, please confirm you can hear me.
Yes, sure. Go ahead.
Okay, it's not really a question. It's just on that the last one you just mentioned about partial profit. If that will help to not to liquidate, please. I'm 100% in support of that one. This last one you just mentioned.
Yeah, that's right. That's why I told you that the two scenario, right? So let's wait for the market first because we need to make sure we actually move back the position ratio to the spec, which is 0.3 and below, right? So if the market goes up, is great for all of us. But you see, if the market goes up, my worry point is that will the user monitor their sub account? You see that? So you need to make sure you monitor your sub account. That's why we know that some users, they might not have the fund. So that's why we are going to shift the leverage from 35 to 40 because some of your fund will return back to your available balance. Okay, so please understand what we are doing, right? So all these measures are important, but a 5x movement, that is not a big significant impact. Okay, it doesn't matter. All right, that's why we can play with 40, 35, 35, 40, it doesn't matter. All right, so but it's all now depend whether the price goes up. So if the price goes up above 120, I'll be very happy because I can do a partial profit and bring down the position size. And then we wait for the market to come down and then we close all the positions, right? But if the price goes down, then it's the other way around. We might close the position, the short, or we even do a partial profit taking. We do not know yet. But the thing is that we have to get out of this situation as soon as possible so that we can then open new order and start to have more profit, right? So that's our goal. So at the moment, right, please understand, in 12 months, guys, in 12 months, you will have one or twice this kind of scenario where you can have a huge manipulation here and there. Okay, this is common. All right. So if you don't understand if you don't look at it from the 12 months and you only look at it from the day perspective, then you get disappointed. Okay, so that is important. Okay, all right. Thanks, Obong. Appreciate that. Okay, all right, great. Now let's move on. Okay, to the last one, right, which is the CopyMaster. Okay, now for the CopyMaster, right, I think we're going to just quickly talk about the auto top-up features. Now, I think these features will be a mandatory moving forward. Okay, for those of you, the 50 users are currently in, you can probably start to activate it. But moving forward, no one can join the CopyMaster if they don't comply to the auto top-up features. Okay, so this is important. Okay, and then I might want to just cover the net asset versus available balance and also enable the BitGet notification, right? Finally, right? Just to recap all these things again. Okay. So now first thing first, right? Let's go back to the first one, right? Which is the we're going to basically look into the enable the auto top up. So if you go to the asset, all right, let's go back, okay? Because you can see in your asset, at the top there, you have overview, you got spot, you got futures, you got the futures copy trading, right? So this is where we want to go now, okay? So under the futures copy trading, you go to management, right? You tap the management, and now it will bring you to your smart copy front page, okay? So when I ask you for a smart copy page, this is what I meant, all right? This is your smart copy front page, okay? So now in this smart copy front page, you have the add fund. So you can tap the add fund and it will bring you here to this page, right? So in this page, you can see your initial investment and currently what is your available balance. So that means about $600 is currently tied up in the trading. Okay, it's tied up in the trading, and when the positions are floating, so your fund is still there, but it is tied up in the trading. So you can't do much about it, right? You have to wait until the position closes, right? Okay, now if your available balance starts to get to zero, that will put your position at risk, right? So if you go back again, you can see my available balance here is 225. Now, please understand, right? This bot, this WealthMaker bot is also a copy trading bot that is actually copying JDWealthMaker. Up to now, I still have 225. I never top up this fund. So that's why I don't understand why some of the users get liquidated. I can't understand. Okay, there can be other reasons. Okay, and I also see some user actually remove their profit. So if you go and remove your asset while the trading is taking place, then you're going to risk your position. So some of your position will get liquidated. Okay, because please understand, right? If you tap this arrow, all right, you can tap this arrow, you can see all your trading now, right? All the position that is open, you can see over there. Okay, all the position that is open, you can see over there. So, and if you look at the estimate liquidation, it's very important. I'm keeping the estimate liquidation as far away so that even if your available balance is zero, it is almost impossible for you to get liquidated. But this is the problem, right? You can also tap adjust fund here, okay, if you want to. But let me go back here, okay? Now, the problem is that if the user go and withdraw, you see that you can withdraw, right? If you go and withdraw, if you go and withdraw your asset, okay, you can withdraw the asset, you're going to take out the available balance. You see that? So if you take out this, if you go and remove the available balance while the trading is going on, now you're going to have a problem. You will see some of your position liquidation will come closer. Now, please understand, okay, cross margin futures is a little bit different. If you have 4 assets, and if one asset is liquidated, everything will be flush out. You will lose everything. So don't think that, oh, because of this asset is near, never mind. The rest is okay. No, no, no. It doesn't work in that way for cross margin. All right. So that's why don't remove the available fund while the trading is still going on. Wait until everything closes. Okay. So that is a very important reminder so that you don't make mistake, because sometimes we are new, so we don't know. And also some people are worried. Oh, it is now minus 32%. And my estimate net profit. Come on, guys. There's nothing to worry here. This is normal. All right. Rate doesn't mean anything. All right. You are basically, it's just floating. We are just waiting. So this is now minus, I think it was minus 300, like mine minus 300. Now it's already minus 272. So this can go down minus 200, minus 100, and until it become green. And your ROI can even go down. So even if the ROI go to, let's say, 10%, I can even close all the position I want to. We will still have the profit, no problem. But I don't want to close now. See, then you will be at loss. So we will wait, all right? So now let's go back. So you want to now enable, right? Enable your auto top up. So now, how to do that? How to do that? Okay, how to do that? Very simple. Okay, that's why I say monitor your available balance. Okay, so if you look here, right, we have available balance and we have the account net asset. You see, if your available balance is 0, you are still okay because you have the net asset. But the problem with the net asset is that if one of your position is liquidated, everything will be gone. So that's why should you monitor your net asset? It's better to monitor your available balance. It's because if your available balance are always available, you do not need to worry about your net asset. So net asset is too late. So it's like JDXBOT, right? Monitor your sub account, not your main account. Your main account is too late. So if you monitor your sub account and make sure your sub account is always replenished, so you don't have the problem. You see that? So in that way, you are more preventative rather than corrective. Okay. So now this is important. Okay. If someone who are new coming on board, I would advise, right, next time, if it is a $50, they need $100. Okay, $50 for them to put into the trade and another $50 for them to do the auto top up. Okay, all right, because the auto top up minimum is $50. Okay, please take note. So you can see now in my spot account, I have $54 and $95. So now I can go and enable, okay, I can go and enable my auto top up. So how do you do that? So you click over here. So then you see when my available balance fall below what amount. So this amount, right, I will say maybe you want to put 20% of your available balance. Sorry, 20% of your invested amount. So here, right, you can see your invested amount 800, like my case is 806. Okay, so if your invested amount is $50, then you take 20% of that, that will be $10. Simple. So it's just a suggestion, all right? 20%. If you want to put 10%, it's also okay, no problem. But don't go to 0. Okay? So it's good to have maybe 10 or 20%. So let's say if I put 20% of $50, then it will be $10. So that means when my available balance reach $10, it will automatically top up from my $50 that is in my spot wallet. Can you understand me? So that is what it meant. Okay, so now please make sure, okay, you see automatically transfer from. Make sure you choose spot, okay? Make sure, okay, don't make a mistake, okay? Make sure you choose spot. So make sure the spot amount, right? I got $54. So make sure you do correctly, or else it will use your futures and then your JDXBOT will have a problem. Okay, so please be very careful, okay? So now, can I put $10 here? Cannot, you see? It say minimum 50 USD. So that's why in the future, right, I think anyone who want to join JDXBOT or JDCopyMaster, I think you need minimum $100 or more. Okay, because you need to have an extra $50, $51 or $52 in your spot account for the auto top-up balance. Okay, for the auto top-up. So now I have to put 50, right? So means if my available balance now drop okay, drop to $10, all right, when available balance fall below $10, it will then top up. Sorry, it will top up $50. Sorry, okay. Minimum it will top up is $50. Okay, so that's why you need $50 minimum. Okay, so I hope this is clear. So then you confirm. Okay, so now my add fund is already activated. Can you see? It's already activated. So now I can have the peace of mind, right? So I do not need to worry. So if it goes down, okay, then it will do an auto top up. But moving forward, right, I will solve this problem so that we will not have any issue with getting liquidated. Okay, I will solve this problem. But on your side, you make sure that you have the sufficient fund, to do the auto top up features. Okay, so I hope that is clear, right? I hope that is clear. Okay, and I hope now you know available balance and your account. That's why some of you, right, you see that your available balance is 0, but your trade is still running because now it is using your net asset. Okay, it is using your net asset. But if one of your position get liquidated, you will lose everything. So it is a dangerous situation if your available balance is 0. Okay, so you might want to go and top up another $50 or something to get your available balance, up and running, right? So at least it will put your position into a safe condition. So that's why if your available balance is still available, you don't need to worry. You only have to worry once it becomes 0. Okay, so this is important. Okay, I hope that is helpful, right? I hope that is helpful. Okay, now any questions? Okay, any questions you want to ask me on the CopyMaster? So I hope now you are clear, right? How to enable your auto top up, and remember, auto top up minimum is $50. Okay, so that's why if you're coming on JDXBOT, I think it's better that you have. You see, wallet management is critical. Okay, when it comes to trading. So instead of $50, make sure you are ready with $100. So anyone you want to introduce, tell them it's $100. So in my next presentation, right, I will change it. So minimum required is $100. So simple as that. So in that way, right, you can actually solve this problem. Okay. All right. Any question on this? Okay, that is great. That is great. Now, the other, what is one more item that I want to? Okay. All right. Now, let's just go through this one more item, right? Enable BitGet notification. Okay, great. Save. Now, let's go back to the bot, right? Now, these are all the apps, okay? So what you need to do, simple, guys, go back to your profile, right? Go back to your profile. And in your profile, you click the arrow here and get into your user center, right? So in your user center, in your user center, you see notification there. You see that? So in this notification, now you can probably just do whatever I'm doing here, right? You see my site message is on, my email is on, my ad push notification is on, my price alert is on, my notification and reminders, right? If you is on, push notification, if you click here, right? Click here, all right? You can actually, you can click here. It will bring you into the Yeah. So your push notification, okay, make sure it is enabled. All right. Let me just see what else. So you can actually just follow, right? Some of these things, right? Just follow some of these things. All right. So that is it. But what I'm trying to say is that the notification settings are there in your profile. So go and check which are the notification setting that was disabled. Go and enable it. All right, so that you will get all the notification that you needed. Okay, so that is important. Okay, so do check, right? So because you see, sometimes, right, when I actually place a trade or I do add order in the CopyMaster, some of you may not receive the notification, but I've already done it. Why? Because you didn't enable it. Okay, you didn't enable it. So that's the reason why. Okay, if you enable it, you know that, hey, JD has actually, add orders. All right. So that is the reason why. And if your positions are at a critical level, let's say, right, you don't have the fund, your available balance is 0, and then you start to use your net asset, and then your net asset comes down. Now BitGet will send you an email notifying you that, hey, your balance is low, please do something. That is like the last notification, right? The BitGet give to you. But if you don't enable and you don't get that email, gone. Right? Gone. Okay. But some people, even if they receive email, but because they are in offshores or they are working somewhere, they don't have access to internet, they also will be able. That's why it's always good to have the sub account or to do the auto top up feature so that you do not need to worry. So if you are busy, right, then your auto top up shouldn't be $50, should it be more, right? So if the normal $50 is $50, and if you got $500 or $1,000, then you should have more. But please understand, the auto top up doesn't mean it will use. All right, it is just basically enable only. It may not even use if it's not needed. Okay, it will only use your spot account when it's actually needed, right? That is like if the market is really, really crazy, right? Which like what we saw recently, right? Then it happened, right? So I hope that is clear, okay? Okay. For the CopyMaster top up, what is the recommended top up amount as a function of initial? As I mentioned, right? You can actually do you can probably do 20% of your initial investment. So if your initial investment, let's say $100, 20%. So you set when it reaches 20%, when your available balance drop, let's say to $20, it will automatically top up minimum $50. So it means you have $20, it will top up 50, right? So it becomes $70 now in your available balance. So now you need to make sure your spot account is replenished, right? So that's why I told you, right? If your spot account, you have more fund, that will be good because every time it auto top up, it will top up $50. You understand me? All right. It will top up $50 because you set minimum 50. But if you want to set 500, you can. So it depends on your initial investment amount. So if your initial investment is $1,000, 20% will be $400, right? So that means you need to set, all right, you need to set $400, minimum, right, that you want to top up. Okay, but if you don't have 20%, then you want to go 10%, it's okay. No problem, right? But the minimum is 50. You can have more than that. Okay, I hope I answered that question accurately then. All right. Okay, yes, Graham, please unmute yourself. Yes, go ahead. I can't hear you. I can't hear you. You're breaking.
Just a question here regarding profit taking.
Yeah.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, please go ahead. Please go. I'm trying to listen to.
Hello, okay. Can you hear me now?
It's still breaking.
What do you explain on that? I have mute repetition, yes. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, please. Yeah, please go ahead.
Okay. Just a question on the profit taking and loss. Could you explain on that? How do I know that on the dashboard? The profit and loss. How do I know that on the dashboard? And taking of profit and loss. How do I know that? I've made a profit or I've made a loss.
Oh, you can actually, I think you can actually check. You can go to home, and then I think you can go to copy.
Hello, doctor. Can you hear me?
Yeah, can you hear me? Hello, can you hear me? Yeah, I can hear you, right? Let me just explain that questions, right? So you can go to, let me just share my screen again, okay? So You see that, right? Over here, right? As I mentioned, I think I did mention this before, right? So if you go back to your home and then you go and look for copy, and then here, right, you can go and I think search, right, for JDXCopyMaster, right? So JDXCopyMaster, search history there. So you tap there. And then you go to click over here, and then you can actually go to copiers, right? So here you can see all the copier that is actually copying and their profit. You see that? You can see over here. This is the profit currently, but please understand, this is not a realized profit yet, right? Because it is floating. So you check which is your username. All right, you check your username because you can see some of the username are not full because of the privacy, right? So you check your username and you can see what is your ROI currently. The ROI is rate, it doesn't matter because it's floating. But then you can see what is your potential profit in case if we are able to close all the position later on. All right, so you will be able to see over here. Okay, so I think normally new users, they will go and check here. All right, they will check it. That's why, right, for me, right, I don't care about the ROI. Okay, sorry, I don't care about the win rate, right? The focus will be the profit. All right, that will be the focus. So if you put $500, so let's say if you put $1,000, like WealthMaker, right? WealthMaker is around $800, right? The initial investment. The profit currently is about $339. So that means that so far, right, for the past 50 days since it started, JDCopyMaster already delivered an unrealized, okay, this is unrealized gain, about 40%, okay, close to 40%, right? About 40 to 40, I think around that, right? 339 over $800. So it's around 40. So if we are able to close this position, that means I will actually gain, a wealth maker will actually gain that $400 or even more, right? Because when we close, the profit will be much greater, okay? So this is how you can check. So you go and check your own performance over there. You can actually see that, okay? All right. I hope that answers the questions, right? Okay, I hope that answers the questions. Okay, if I answer your question, just put up there in the chat. Okay, okay, great. All right. Okay, I think that is sufficient, right? That is a lot for you to digest maybe during the weekend. So you can go through the video and go and learn. Use your weekend wisely, okay? Use your weekend. That's what I do on Thursday so that you have the Friday, Saturday, Sunday to go through the videos and so on, okay? Okay, any other questions, guys? Any other questions that you want to ask me before we adjourn the meeting? Any other things you want to know? Is this helpful? Are you guys learning today? Is this helpful? Is this adding value, right? This is what we need, right? Because we need tutorial. We need hands-on. So I'm doing hands-on and showing you exactly, right, how this whole thing works, okay? Okay, any other questions, guys? Any other questions? Any other things? Aboris, is that anything else that I miss out that you want me to highlight or something? Anything? Yeah, you can unmute yourself if you want to. Yeah, anything that I miss out, guys? Anything else? Yeah, okay. Graham, please watch the video, right? I explained just now how to check this one, right? So it is open to the public. The public can go and check, who is making profit, who is making loss, okay? But the thing is that, right, sometimes it can be misleading because although the strategy is good, but sometimes the user loses also because of negligence of the user. So that can give a wrong perception to those who want to join the copy trade. All right. So it is unavoidable, right? Because we can't put the reason there because of users' negligence. Because I can see some user, they are at loss because they go and remove their fund. Okay, they go and actually remove their available balance. Maybe they are worried or they are afraid, so they don't trust the copy master, right? So they go and, because they worry they will be at loss. But if you ask me, right, come on, guys, when you are into investment, you put the money you're willing to lose, the money that you're willing to risk. So if $50 is what you're willing to risk, that is your stop loss. Understand? When come to cross margin, okay? When come to cross margin, the amount that you put is actually your stop loss. Okay, so if you lose $50, it's your stop loss. That is it. Then you put another $50. Simple. Okay, so consider it like your stop loss. Okay, so you put the money you're willing to risk. Okay, so and then you evaluate how the copy trading with that $50. If it is not your negligence, but it is because of the tradings and so on, then you can decide you don't want to proceed. It is fine. Okay, so that's how you evaluate. Okay, but at the moment we have not closed the position fully yet, so it's a bit difficult to evaluate. Okay, so I hope that is clear. Okay, so I think that is important. So if you ask me, right, that's how I look into it. If I put $1,000, my $1,000 is my stop loss for cross margin. So that means if anything goes against me, right, a worst case scenario, I lost $1,000 peacefully because that is the amount that I have agreed to risk. Now, please understand, right? As I mentioned, right? You are an investor, right? None of you are a gambler. If you're a gambler, then you cannot take losses. And if you cannot take losses and you are a gambler, then please don't join any investment because then you will make things worse. All right? You will make things worse. Okay? So I don't do that because I do have a lot of people, sometimes they invest in me, they are gamblers. When things goes wrong, they come after me, which I really hate. Okay? I really don't like this kind of people. All right? They cannot come after the messenger, right? All right? So, but the thing is that the problem is that we have gamblers, okay? We have savers, right? Savers are the most less risk, right? They actually got no risk, right? The bank has been using them to make money from them. These are savers. Am I right? Then you got the investors. Investors are great because their mind is different. They don't only invest into one portfolios, right? They invest into crypto, like what we have. They invest into JDXBOT. They invest into JDCopyMaster. They diversify. So if they lost here, they make money there. They invest into gold. They invest into commodity. They invest into forex. They invest into stock. They invest into properties, right? These are investors. So they know. So that's why they got multiple stream of investment. And then you have the gambler who only focus on one thing. He goes into the casino and they want to win. If they lose, then that is it. They will come after you with stick. Am I right? So these are gamblers, right? They are gangsters. Okay, they are just evil. All right, they are just evil. They don't care about it. And at the end of it, they say, "I put the money. You are the one who told me. Now you return back that money to me." Come on, guys. What world are you living in? These are gamblers, and a lot of places you do have this kind of people, right? It's so difficult to manage them because money is the god of their life. So Mammon is the god of their life. So when money is a spirit. There's a spirit behind money, right? So if you are in control of the money, God bless you. If the money is controlling you, something is wrong with you. So the question is, who is controlling you? If the money is controlling you, then you won't be honorable. Am I right? Then you will fight. Then you will raise voice. Then you will fight because you lose that $10, $20, $50, right? But if you are in control of the money, then God bless you. That means that God has dealt with your heart that now even money will obey you, right? Rather than you obey the money. Can you see that? So this is a very important principle. Okay, I hope you understand, guys. So it's not easy. I went through this throughout my life too, until I have to break the spirit of mammon, the spirit of money, so that the money doesn't control me, right? So that's why the Bible is clear, right? Or anywhere you hear, right? The money is not the root of all evil, right? Money is not, the root of all evil. It is the love of money. So don't forget the word love there. The love of money is the root of all evil. The moment you love money, the spirit of mammon is now controlling you. All right, so please be very careful. It is nothing wrong to become wealthy. It's nothing wrong to desire to become rich. But don't let the love of money to control you. The day the love of money take over, you are gone. You will become slave to money. Okay, so I hope money is not on your head. I hope money is under your feet. Okay, so please understand that. Okay, this is important. That's why if you hear stories about heaven, gold is the pathway in heaven. That means you are walking on gold in heaven. On earth, gold is on your head, but in heaven, it is under your feet. You see that? So you must be very careful, guys. So don't let things to go above your head. Okay, so money should be under your feet, so you are in control of it. You are not slave to it. But so many of us are slave to it because we are in debt. All right, we are in debt and we are paying the banks, and we are now slave to the bank, right? So that's why settle your debt quickly. Get out of slavery. All right, get out of slavery. Okay, that is very, very important. Okay, all right, guys. I hope that is helpful. Okay, thank you so much. I hope this session has been a blessing. Thank you guys for coming on board during this AMA session, and really appreciate each and every one of you. I trust that today's education will add significant value to you guys. As I mentioned, right, master it. Okay, learn. It doesn't matter. Okay, it doesn't matter. Don't be hard on yourself. Be open and just learn. All right, be just relax. Keep learning. Okay, because there's no point to be hard on yourself. Okay, just keep learning. Sometimes there are costs involved in learning. Sometimes we lost, and so it is okay, right? Don't be a gambler. Okay, be an investor. It is fine. Keep trying. All right, and one day we will succeed together. Okay, all right, guys. God bless each and every one of you. We will catch up next Tuesday for our usual global preview. And next week there is no AMA. Okay, AMA is only the first week and the third week of the month. Okay, so God bless each and every one of you. Thank you so much. Do go through the video. There are a lot of value add resources here, right? Go through the video. You might need to spend the weekend, go through, write it down, learn something from here, right? Because you do not know how this kind of resources, information, can be really, really helpful. Okay, so God bless you all. Okay, take care, guys. Take care. God bless you all. Bye-bye.